Just 3 more months left of this stuff. I'm Joe Retha with the retro review of WCW Thunder from December 20th, 2000. And it's the final episode of WCW 2000 that I'm going to review because the last 2 episodes, Nitro and Thunder, are recap episodes. And then the first episode of 2001, Nitro, is also going to be a recap show. So the next review that I do, at least for this period of WCW, will be the January 3rd, 2001 edition of Thunder. And then it's rolling along till the very end, and I can't fucking wait. There have been some positives. There have been some things that I actually forgot were pretty damn good. Lance Storm's run, Booker T being champion and being treated like a champion, and a few other good moments. A lot of it, though, was buried in a sea of bullshit and bad creative and just, creatively bankrupt shows. I mean, so many of the pay-per-views were fucking messy. Even once Russo was gone from Power, a lot of the pay-per-views were still fucking messy. So many run-ins, so much bullshit. It's really goddamn sad. And also, Thunder was being taped after Nitro, so the crowds were extra dead, and this show was extra phoned in. So Flair runs down the card, goes over the matches, and Shivani, Mike Tenay, Stevie Ray on commentary. I don't think Mark Madden is on commentary anymore, at least I hope not, because that means commentary will get a whole lot fucking better. So we have Chavo Guerrero talking about Helms and Moore, how they attacked him on the previous Nitro, but he says, I'm putting up the Cruiserweight Championship against Jamie Noble, and if he beats me, then I'm the #1 contender, and that means you're out. So that I will still win, but even if I win, you won't beat me. It was really kind of weird how you went, with the runaround on that promo, and then he faced Jamie Noble. Somebody had a sign that said, I should have stayed home for Raw, which highlighted the fact that they're taping this right after Nitro. And match is okay. Later, Helms shows up, stops Noble from hitting a superplex by holding his foot. Frog Splash, Brainbuster, 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's it right there. Then here's Jim Duggan to explain his actions. He sold his soul for another run, aka joining Team Canada. Then he apologizes to everyone and leaves. It was an emotional promo, and I'm glad he beat cancer. I mean, I really am. Cancer's a goddamn bitch, and I'm glad Jim Duggan's still here with us even now. Surviving cancer is a tough damn thing, and he is a tough guy to do so, and so is everybody else that has battled through it, and continues to do so. So he leaves. Mike Awesome says, "Hey, stay for the end of the show. Stay here. Let's go back into the arena." And then Hugh Morris says, "Hey, he understands about family, helping out family, because that's why Duggan did it. He wanted to get money and have another run to honor his family, but he sold his soul essentially, by turning his back on his country, and he forgives Duggan. There we go." And then here's the Battle Royal. So it's 2 out of 3 count, Helms and Moore. It's the Young Dragons, Ming and Kiwi, the Aryan Harris brothers, Noble and Courageous, Noble who had just wrestled and was limping quite a bit, Ray and Kidman, Jindrak and O'Hare, and the Perfect Event. And it's a #1 contenders Battle Royal. The last remaining team challenges Nash and Page at Sin, aka the Insiders, for the WCW Tag Team Championships. Here's the funniest thing, though. When the Harris brothers got in there, and it was like them, I put all the teams in order, the match started. And then the other 4 teams did their entrances and just came down. And once one member was eliminated, then then the entire team was eliminated, and basically the Cruiserweight teams were taken out. Vito at one point attacks Reno, taking him out, because all the shit that happened at Starrcade. And then Johnny the Bull returns and whacks Sanders, and then Sanders really overselling that goddamn thing. Harris brothers, Ming and Kiwi were all eliminated during the break, and it's down to the Thrillers, and Sanders says, "Hey, ref, ring the bell." So it's any combination of them basically that's going to defend the champion, or, challenge for the championships. So it could be any Thriller. Oh no, it's all scary and everything, even though the talent level of these guys was, when Chuck Palumbo's the best athlete that you got there, and all due respect to Chuck Palumbo, his ceiling was only so high, so that's really not saying all that much. I mean, these guys weren't necessarily a threat. And this promo took forever from Sanders. They were just stretching for time. And then we get Conan versus Elix Skipper. Conan slips instantly, to be fair. I mean, by this point, everybody was checked out because they probably wanted to go home for the holidays. And this wasn't good. There was a boring chant. And Tequila Sunrise gets a victory. Also, Skipper by this point, he would do a lot better than TNA than he would do here in WCW. To be fair, nobody really could do well in WCW without getting shot right back down the card because the company was dead. And then we get Crowbar with Daphne versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam selling his knees, or maybe he was just really hurt, but he was fucking beat up, and Crowbar was beating him up, targeting the knee. Leap of Faith outside. Ming hits Crowbar because he was getting revenge for all that shit that happened with Terry Funk. and Ming and all that, and it was just ridiculous. And Greens from Asbury Park, 1, 2, 3. That's it right there. Norman Smiley versus Goldberg. 90 seconds. Spear Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Totally Buff, Luger, and Bagwell appear on the screen and say, hey, it's going to be you and Sarge, Goldberg and Sarge, against us at Sin. And whoever loses, hey, Goldberg, if Sarge loses, then you are fucking done. And Goldberg then vows to kill Luger. That's murder, Bill. You don't want to do that. Even though Luger did lead or, contribute to the death of Mrs. Elizabeth, you don't want to actually kill somebody on TV, or at least say you don't want to kill somebody on TV. Don't do that, Bill. That's bad to do that. So then we get Shane Douglas kind of another promo. The same old thing about ugly people in the town and all this and hot women that he drapes himself on and whatever. Shane Douglas paying Chronic to help him against MIA. Messy. Really fucking messy. Hugh Morris actually had to call out a chair spot. For Brian Adams, they hit him in the back of the head with a chair or hit him from the outside. So Shane Douglas hit the franchiser, 1, 2, 3. And then he fists him with the chain. And then Hugh Morris is selling that backstage and all upset. He's going to get revenge on Shane Douglas, Team Canada. Here's Storm knocking the election results. The wrong guy won because the guy with the most votes lost. And kind of funny how, all this talk of ruining or, taking too long with the election is still holding true even now, even though it's obvious what's going to happen now, despite what the idiots think should happen. Anyway, Storm doing some good shit here, and then knocks Duggan. Here's Jim Duggan to have a standoff, really awkward standoff. And then he gets a mic, and then here's Mike Awesome, speaking of mics, comes to help, and then attacks Duggan. Mike Awesome joins Team Canada. He's a Canadian career killer. He's had 5 gimmicks since debuting in April. The April 10th, 2000, fucking hell. Anyway, Scott Steiner versus Ernest Miller. The women fight outside during this. It's 4 minutes. The mystery man that's Road Warrior Animal and a whole bunch of weird gear and everything. It's like a bad created character in a fighting game, and he's just dancing and doing a weird thing, and then he disappears, and Feliner kick doesn't get the victory, and then recliner 1, 2, 3. Might as well just pin him with a goddamn submission move for all it fucking meant right here. But no, what happened is he actually got the submission victory with 10 seconds left to go. That wraps up 2000. Anyway, so I will be back with the 2001 episodes. Those are probably going to be filmed in chunks as far as the first couple of 2001. Don't be shocked if they're up on the first day of 2001, only because Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th, 5th, and then New Year's Dash on the 6th. I'm going to be busy those 3 days. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.